Whoa, it's the illusion reporting from somewhere on spaceship Earth. So, they got this thing going on nowadays out here in California that when the wind blows, everyone panics. And I want to be super clear. Fall in California, it's always had these kind of winds going on. There's nothing unique about it. It's not global warming. It's not anything. But what I will say is there's probably more people building in places they shouldn't be building than there were 20 years ago. So yeah, you have a lot more houses burning down. But besides that, seasonally, it's just standard. It's not any windier than it's ever been on any other Santa Ana event. I mean, it's howling offshore winds, but... So let me explain this. For those of you who don't know, like the Santa Ana winds are like a seasonal thing. They happen every fall. What happens is high pressure systems develop over the desert and they push air at an extreme rate west. And why it burns is because those winds are coming out of the desert. They're super dry. There's no moisture in the winds. And it's at the end of summer. So all the vegetation's all dry and brown and crisp. And it's not a big stretch of the imagination that this stuff would burn. California's always been a tinderbox. It's not the end of the world type stuff they're trying to hype it out to be. So, but what I will get you with is, so they've instituted this weird new thing where they're like, if the winds are super crazy, they're going to turn off the power. Like every time it's been windy, I've been getting texts from the city and we're going to shut off the power if it gets windy. I don't know how much more windier it needs to be. So they're just causing people to be like panicked and weirded out and the whole thing, because they're not shutting off the power down here. And I don't know how much more windy it would be required for them to actually like turn off the power. And the fact of the matter is I don't get really what's going on. There's something else going on in California with this whole power thing, because they shut off all the people's power up in Northern California, and it didn't make a lot of sense. It's very weird. You know, I'm not one to be like all conspiracy to out on some of this stuff, but there seems to be some sort of power grab going on with the state of California. And you know, California is just the full socialist wasteland nowadays, just progressive lefty disaster. So there's probably some massive move to get the power from the power company and have it be run by the state of California, because, you know, the state of California can run stuff very ineffectively. So that makes total sense. I don't know, man. It's just that whole thing. They canceled schools today. It's just a big giant headache. Thank goodness where Owl goes to school is a church. They don't play, man. And so, yeah, it's the full thing. It's super disruptive. It's got everybody all... But I'll tell you what, the underlying message, if you're reading between the lines, is the state is useless. If you're depending upon the state, the government, to do anything for you, you are sadly mistaken. So again, if you're worried about your power and them shutting off the power and you're not ready for said situation, that to me is, and no matter where you live, that to me is is ridiculous. I don't know, and when I grew up, the power used to go out all the time during storms and stuff. I don't get what this whole, like, everyone's shocked when the power goes off. Like, oh my God, the power is like, okay, it's everyone's connected to their little phones. They don't know what to do. But I'm just like, it's this thing of like, don't be dependent upon the government. Just assume that things are going to happen and prepare accordingly. I don't know what the big deal is. I do though is really, I hate to use the word the sheeple, but the sheeple are so on the teat of the government for all aspects of their reality that it's funny to watch the utter confusion and disharmony broadcast into the system, because that's all I can sense that's going on. Is they're just trying to get everybody. I'm telling you, if they were ever going to shut off the power because of the wind, it would have been today. In fact, I just pulled around Point Magoo. Obviously there's a fire going on somewhere where they didn't shut the power off. Like that's my thing. I'm a full, like, enough with the nonsense. If you're going to say you're going to shut off the power because it's windy, shut it off. I don't think it's a bad idea. If that's what's causing all these fires because people have built houses in the middle of fire zones, like, do people understand? Like, maybe you don't, because if you don't live in California, you don't know. Like, if you live anywhere in the mountains of, like, on the coastal, Southern California coastal area, it's prone to, it's a fire ecology zone, which means it's going to burn. It's what it's supposed to do. All the plants depend upon fire. If you saw how the plants do their thing, like, fire's their trip, man. So don't build your houses in the middle of fire zones with, like, don't build your houses up in some canyon that's going to burn down. I mean, look, I loved living up on Rainbow Mountain, but we always knew it could burn down. It was always a potential. It happened. I don't know. I'm not a big, like, I'm going to get all scared like my stuff. Like, well, you know, what are you going to do? It's just part of, like, you got to pay to play, right? Part of your entrance fee in the state of California is get ready to have all your stuff go up in flames, man, or be broken in half by an earthquake. Like, I just, the Chicken Little thing's just kind of mind-blowing. The sky is falling. The sky is falling. Anyway, I guess my whole point is like, if they're gonna say you're gonna shut the power off because it's windy, it's windy today. It's gotta be 60 to 70 miles per hour. It's fully howling offshore winds, and the power's on. So, and I can smell the smoke. Somewhere's burning, that's for sure. Don't know where, but anyway, it's the illusion. Just doing a little drive time with you. Links down below, man. Support the channel. Don't be a deadbeat. Dude, it's a value for value system, man. If you don't like it, don't watch it. If you do, support it, man. Get with the times, dude.